Welcome back, Halo followers. Today, I want to talk about this meme because it feels like this is actually the case. It's like, where is 343? Big Team Battle has been broken for a while. I mean, people are still getting in. I'm still getting in once in a while, but it's just not working the way it's supposed to, like a AAA game's supposed to. This game still feels like a beta with the lack of content, with the lack of really fixes coming out, with how many things that are just not working the way they're supposed to, and the lack of just co-op and Forge and things like that, let alone a roadmap, right? Well, Joseph Staten, actually, head of the creative for Halo Infinite, has come out and said this. Hey folks, in November, I said we'd have a Halo Infinite update on our seasonal roadmap, co-op, and Forge in January. We need more time to finalize our plans, so what we share is something you can rely on. This work is top priority, and we'll have an update as soon as we can. So yes, this is something that I've been talking about for quite some time, a roadmap, all right? We have no idea what is coming. This is something, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? But I feel like, honestly, this was a must before launch. Figuring out where the game is going, I feel like was a must. I don't think many games launch without a roadmap. I mean, not having a public roadmap seems incredibly, risky. And also, why not, right? I mean, I don't understand, it's not like they're making content up, it's like they're trying to figure out what they can do. And this lack of a roadmap makes me think of the worst possible thing, which is that 343 doesn't know what they can do. It means that they are trying to figure out how to navigate Slipspace engine, which is probably held together by duct tape, which is probably an engine that is much worse and much less manageable than engines that we've seen in the past. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but even that, if that's not the case, it seems like there are some massive limitations and issues that they have to overcome on the engineering and technical department. Because, quite frankly, when they said that the game could not add new playlists because of a UI issue, and they said it was going to take 4 weeks, and it took like a week and a half, is concerning. They did eventually add the new playlist. They recently talked about how the shop cannot be rearranged. This all makes me think, from what I have suspected for quite some time, is that the engine is really, really unfunctional and hard to navigate, and is held together barely by a bunch of strings of code that make it very hard for anything to work the way it's supposed to. I think that this engine was probably developed very poorly, and it's probably because of the vast amount of contractors that worked on this game. You have people coding vital parts of this game that are no longer at 343, so I wonder if that is attributing to the problem, right? So, is this game forever going to have issues? Most likely not. Is it going to have a bunch of content here soon? I don't think so. And honestly, just based on the current trajectory, I expect that Season 2 is going to be a letdown. And I don't, it brings me no joy to say that. But at this point, I just have to be realistic, right? And I have to talk about my realistic opinion. This is what I think, is that so far, things have just been kind of a disappointment. Will Season 2 drop with 5 maps and Infection and, Assault and all these, game modes that are missing? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. We know Season 3 is going to be launching way later this year, 9 months after launch, so we're looking at somewhere like late summer, I think, for that to come with Forge. And the fact that co-op campaign was delayed, the fact that Forge also subsequently was also delayed, makes me think that I believe that this engine, that they are facing some serious issues on the back end. Now, I don't know if they've just been skewing the truth as far as saying that everything is good, that they're trying to make it perfect and they want it to work really well. I mean, if it was already working really well back before the game released, why is it not out yet? Why do we need to wait another 3 months right now? I mean, Season 2 is not coming for another 3 months, and they still don't have a roadmap. I think 343 will deliver and make fans happy in some regard, but I really and keeping my expectations low for Season 2. During Halo Infinite's marketing, there was a massive content drought. We didn't really see much of the game, and ultimately that is because there wasn't much of a game, at least on the multiplayer side. That was pretty much it, which leads me to assume that what Season 2 has to offer is next to nothing. And whenever they do tell us, because it's possible that they are procrastinating, that they are postponing, when they do tell us and people do see if I am right here, Season 2 does suck, then people are going to be livid. I don't think it's the update that's going to fix this game, and I think a lot of people are holding out for that. I remember a lot of people were holding out for the December 8th release date because that was the official release. That's when the campaign was dropping, and ultimately a lot of the things that they have said that the game was going to support and do is just not the case. I'm thinking of like campaign armor coatings, right? There's not really any rewards for playing the campaign for multiplayer, which is a huge disappointment, and I think they could have done much better on. And I think it's totally a possibility, but they just decide not to do it for whatever reason. So they need time to finalize their plans, and this is their top priority. A seasonal roadmap, okay, that is what they're going to be talking about here soon. They're also going to be talking about the status of co-op and Forge in January, and now January is over. Now it's February. So what are they doing right now? They're also working on a BTB update. As we know, a couple weeks ago, they tried to push out a BTB update, and it did not work. They said that they are working on a new update, and this new update will be available as early as Thursday, February 3rd. So it may come a little bit later than that, but hopefully this will fix it for most people until they get the final update coming. But this is ultimately just a hot fix, all right? They're in the early stages of preparing a new hot fix. So really slow developments in Halo Infinite. I hope they're working on something big, because honestly I thought it was going to feel like the studio was bustling, working, you know, having lots of plans, spitting out stuff, you know, sharing stuff as soon as Christmas was over or shortly after that. But it's still quiet. It is still so quiet. We get a few tweets here and there. You know, if we were none the wiser, we would just say that no one's working at 343 right now besides maybe 8 or 9 people. That's how it feels from a fan's perspective, I think. Right? I think a lot of people might be able to relate with that. But anyways, guys, that's the update. So the roadmap's coming soon. I hope that's not because they don't know what they can do, because the engine is so limiting. They're trying to figure out what is a realistic roadmap so they don't just mislead everyone again, right? We don't want to see that stuff. And I think Joseph Staten there saying this does bring me some relief. This is one of the creators of Halo itself. So the fact that he's, you know, all these years later from working on Halo 1, 2, and 3, left Bungie and came back to work at 343 is very, very fun, very interesting, and I'm excited to see what more he says, because if there's one person at 343 I really do trust and have my hope in, it is Joseph Staten. I do believe he probably fixed the campaign and made it a lot better than what it was going to be, right? So anyways, guys, you let me know your own thoughts about this. What do you hope for Season 2? What do you hope for co-op? What do you hope for Forge? And it makes me wonder, these things are probably going to launch with issues as well. You know, it's probably being too optimistic to think that these things are going to be delayed and work at launch. So, yeah. You can see that I'm probably not terribly optimistic with the series. I think in a couple years this game's going to be super solid, but right now it's like they're scrambling to figure out what they should even do, or what they can say that we can even expect. They don't even know what to tell us as far as expectations, because they probably don't even know themselves. But maybe I'm misguided on that. But I'll catch you guys in the next one soon, all right? You take care. Peace.